You see, Lindsay Clancy has a problem. She's currently on trial for premeditatively killing her 3 kids. Now, the word premeditatively is the key word here. It basically means she thought about it, she planned it, she did it. The defense said that's a damn lie. She did it. She just didn't plan to do it. She was going through psychosis at the time. See, this case is a little more complicated than it may seem, but first, we gotta understand.
I'm confused. Do you mean her 3 kids on this complicated world? I have no idea what you're saying.
Understand what happened. You see, one day, Patrick, who was Lindsay's husband at the time, was working from home. After he finished working, he said, "Look, Lindsay, we don't got time to cook, so you want me to go pick something up?" Lindsay said, "Yes, absolutely." So as Patrick's leaving, Lindsay texts him at 5:15 p.m. Remember that time. One of
Bro, how do you know it's 5:15? How do you get all this info?
our 3 kids needs medicine from the CVS. Can you pick it up on your way to get food? He said, "Bet." So Patrick goes to the CVS, picks up the medicine for the kids. He calls Lindsay, says, "Hey, is this the right thing?" She says, "Yeah." He goes to the restaurant, picks up the food, drives home. When he gets to his house, this is the motto of his house, by the way, everything was quiet. He said that's a little weird, so he starts calling out.
Bro, how did you get to his model house? What the fuck?
To everybody, his kids and Lindsay. Nobody answers. Eventually, he finds Lindsay outside on the floor. He asked her what happened. She said she tried to herself. He said, "Okay, where are the kids?" She said they're in the basement. So Patrick goes to the basement and finds the 3 kids, calls the police. Police pull up.
Wait, she killed her kids? What the fuck?
Everyone is in agreement of what happened. Patrick said, "That happened." Lindsay said, "That did happen." Prosecutor said, "That happened." Police said, "That happened." Lindsay's defense said, "Yeah, everything Patrick said happened." People are even in agreement about what happened before that took place. Lindsay said, "I was very, very depressed. I was experiencing psychosis. I was seeking help from mental health professionals, from everyone around her." Patrick said, "She was. She absolutely was." Her defense says, "Yes, she was." The mental health professionals come out and say, yeah. She called me. We prescribed her this. She was absolutely seeking help." Everyone's in agreement with that. But the twist is the defense is saying, well, you see that she was seeking all of this help. That's why she was experiencing a lot of mental health issues. And the prosecution is saying, no. That's just an excuse. The kids because she wanted to. Now that you know what happened, here's where things start to get wicked. I'm going to give you facts. We about to get to the nitty gritty of it. First fact, Lindsay, when she tried it herself, it involved her jumping from a high place. She's paralyzed from the waist down because of it. The defense said, "You see that she tried it herself for real. She really has mental health issues." The prosecution said, "I don't know. She was getting help. Like, what y'all mean? This right here is one of the people that was helping her." The defense said, "Well, I'm glad you brought this person up because the help she was getting is actually the problem." The defense goes to this psychiatrist lady. I forgot her name. The defense said, "Okay, all the stuff you was giving her, like, was it working?" She said, "I mean, we was working on it. It wasn't quite." He said, "You didn't do your job for real." That was basically the psychiatrist's argument with the defense. And it was really intense. He was damn near cussing her out, talking about, "I found a mistake on your paperwork. What's going on with that?" She said, "You trying to make it seem like I'm stupid. It was just like a typo." He said, "A typo? Ooh, a typo." She said, "Ooh, you rage baiting me." The judge had to come in. He said, "Hey, y'all gotta chill. Not in my courtroom. The defense said, "Oh, so you making typos? You prescribing her whatever, this and that? We just giving her whatever we want. Matter of fact, give me another psychiatrist. Next psychiatrist, pull up." Next psychiatrist, pull up. Defense said, "So what was you prescribing her? This, that, and the third?" And he said, defense, next psychiatrist. He start calling psychiatrists out. Turns out she had like 13 prescriptions. Another psychiatrist pull up and said, "Yeah, she did pull up and say she wanted it herself." She said it was getting real bad. The defense said, "Okay, so what did y'all do?" Psychiatrist said, "Well, we didn't do anything." The defense said, "Excuse me?" Yeah, they said, "Yeah, the rules state that you got to have a plan about yourself before we can actually commit you to something. But, I sent her some resources." And the defense said, "Where are the resources you sent her?" I said, "You know what? I actually didn't send her resources." So you could probably see where Lindsay's defense is coming from. They're saying, look, the mental health system failed her.
Bro, the narration style is crazy, dude. How many followers this guy have? Oh, 1.44 million. Holy shit. It's famous. I'm not.
In fact, Lindsay and her defense have a separate civil case where they're suing many people in the mental health system. The prosecution is saying, nah, that still wouldn't have drove her to her kids. That part she did on purpose. She might have had mental health issues, but not bad enough to, she did that on purpose. You could see by the text she's sending people, like she seemed that she was sound of mind. Like, she did it on purpose. And that's pretty much the case that's going on. Now, you'll notice that nowhere in this video that I mentioned the husband, Patrick, being the culprit, because that is absolutely not the focus of this case by the defense or the prosecution. But let's talk about why people believe that he might be. See, if you'll remember earlier, I told you.
Wait, believe might be what exactly? Bro, imagine your wife killing your 3 kids. It's crazy. I don't know what he's going through, but
Patrick was working. He leaves the house to go get medicine for the kid at CVS, and he goes to get takeout, right? Well, he left the house, remember this number, hey, coincidence, it's actually 5:15 right now. He left the house at 5:15. The CVS is about 3 minutes away from their house. The cameras catch Patrick walking into the CVS at 5:32. He leaves the house 5:15. It's 3 minutes away. He gets there at 5:32. The mathematics ain't adding up. People online are saying, oh, that's weird. But in the actual trial, they didn't really seem to care. Because remember, that's not the defense's argument. That's not the prosecution's argument. But they did ask him about it. The prosecutor told him, look, why did it take you so long to get from your house to the CVS? He said, I don't know. The defense pulled up. They said, no, we got this prosecution. Look, Patrick, we're not saying you did it, but we really need to get to the bottom of this because we got something else over here. It says that you sent an email to your job at 5:24. You leave your house at 5:15. An email gets sent at 5:24. Does that mean you were still at the crib? Like, what's going on for real? Patrick said, bro, I don't know. I might have sent the email from my iPhone, but I know I didn't leave the house that late. I might have sent it from I don't know. I don't remember. That's a little weird. But regardless, the defense did not follow up on this. Now, people also noticed the husband, Patrick, seemed to have changed his clothes. He seemed to have changed his jacket from a short button down to like a longer button down because he's also caught in surveillance in the restaurant.
Bro, 1 second. What are you saying? Like, he did the crime with his wife? Why didn't she say he did? I'm confused.
In the restaurant, his shoes seem different and his jacket seems like it has a zipper that pulls down lower. Here's a closer look at his shoes when he was in the restaurant versus the CVS. His shoes seem different. And again, they're saying the jacket seems different. Defense did not follow up on this. They're maintaining this had nothing to do with their case. They're pleading that Lindsay absolutely did it, but she was going through psychosis. People also claim that this might be one of Patrick's friends walking to the CVS, and this might be Patrick going into the restaurant after he finished the kids. And now that I look at this picture a little closer, do these two people seem to have different hairstyles to you? Okay, but regardless, that's neither here nor there. The defense is saying, we don't care about the hair, we don't care about the clothes, we don't care about this, that, and the third. The defense and the prosecution maintain we are both in agreement about what happened, Lindsay and the 3 kids. We're just not in agreement on why it happened. But regardless of who you think did it, the question of the trial is, can she be held responsible for her kids, even though she was crying out for help, constantly explaining to people that her mental health was really, really, really deteriorating? And that's a question the jury has to ask, and that's a question.
Okay, it's a crazy case. But killing your own kids, it's a bit too much. 3. All of them gone. It's crazy.
And I want to ask you, what do you think? Let me know. And truly, rest in peace to those 3 kids.
Imagine from this picture to a triple funeral, probably life in prison or death penalty. And this guy living with this situation. It's crazy, dude.
Because I feel like they're forgotten in all of this, but they should be mentioned first and foremost. Rest in peace to the 3 kids.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's crazy. Trial for 54 minutes. He looks like he lost 10 years of his life because of this. It's crazy. God damn, dude. It's a hard pill to swallow.